Hello, 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 and welcome to the show. This is Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you exclusive breaking news that not even Dave Meltzer can get at this point. Breaking rumor and innuendo, previewing the latest shows and reviewing them afterwards.
10
And
stars.
for WWE, New Japan, AEW, and everything in between. I am your host, James J. As always, with me, Kaliko Yachts.
Trying to stay alive from this heat, man. What's good, world? What's good?
And my other co-host, Scooter Dust.
What's up? It's your co-host with the most, the man with the choice voice from coast to coast.
Yeah, bringing you from coast to coast. East Coast to
stars.
West Coast.
20
And
stars.
last week was a pretty good show. You had some really big breaking news for Wrestling with Entertainment and the remix.
Yes, I did. The remix returns October 2nd with a special Wednesday night episode to kick off the Wednesday Night Wars. We will actually be going back and forth between. Well, actually, no, that's not true. I have to. Actually, no, yes, that is true because October 2nd will be the first fully live episode of NXT on USA. So we will be going back and forth. We will start out with AEW. And
if you had picture on your TV or laptop, you could.
I could have my Fios app. Fios is not a sponsor of this program.
And we don't have. We don't have Mitch Mayhem, but try the Mitch call, Scooter.
AEW. I could have sworn.
Yeah.
I could have just sworn.
Yeah. You have to give it a minute.
Yeah, you gave it a shot. I mean, you gave it the best effort.
Yeah. So October 2nd, the first fully live episode of NXT. If you haven't already heard, the first two live episodes of NXT on USA will only be 1 hour. The second hour will air on the WWE Network to accommodate Suits.
Really?
Yep.
Well, you know what? For Meghan Markle, I will make that sacrifice.
Except she's not on that show anymore.
And I blame Harry. He fucking ruined that show. There was nothing wrong with it.
But that's the one show that is on the list of shows where you like that show has ran so long, but you don't know anyone that watches it.
Right.
Don't forget to tune into our Suits podcast.
Yeah. So, just to give everybody what we're talking about today, our main event will be AEW All Out. Then we'll be talking about New Japan Royal Quest. But for our appetizer, we are wrestling with WWE NXT UK Takeover.
Just one quick note. If there are any dogs listening, please look away because mortars will be going off.
The show, first reactions to the show. This was my first WWE UK NXT, and honestly, they made a strong impression on me. I liked it.
I liked it as well. It's the second one I watched. I watched Blackpool with Pete Dunne, Joe Coffey. Absolutely incredible match there. I mean, these were some great friggin' matches. I mean, the idea, like, dare I say, Walter Tyler Bate was, oh God, and I can't believe I'm saying this, a modern day equivalent to me of Hogan and Andre.
Wow, that's a big endorsement.
They played they played up those aspects of the size so well, and it was just like it's what Andre Hogan would have been like if Andre had actually won and their match had actually been good.
Well, that's the best backhanded compliment I've heard for quite a while.
Slap.
And what about you, Kaliko?
I think this card in itself, it outshined the Blackpool match because Blackpool bloody card by a mile. But I think it was also because of the shock factor to me, because a lot of people that I had going in winning, I mean, I knew Walter was going to win, and that match was fucking great. And I agree with Scooter. And to me, it's just crazy how good Tyler Bate is. And this dude is like barely old enough to drink beer right now. So like he's been like putting on great matches. And it just shows like if he's not a staple of NXT UK, he's going to be a staple in the WWE, because this guy, when you look at his resume, you got like Mustache Mountain versus Undisputed Era, him versus Pete Dunne 1 and 2, and then you add him versus Walter in the mix. He's carving out a nice little string of matches and a resume under his belt. It's fucking incredible.
I gotta say, my new favorite chant is Tyler Bate. Tyler Bate. Like,
Oh God, I hate.
Oh yeah. Na 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 na. Tyler Bate. Na 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 na. The UK crowd is like unlike anything. Like them in Japan are unlike anything in the world. To me.
I don't know. I'm not a big fan of UK crowds, honestly. I think I get that's kind of how they cheer as those songs, but it kind of takes me out of the match a little bit.
Well, when people are singing, when people are singing, "Be My Girl" to Bailey.
Yeah, they're the ones who started it. The UK crowd started it.
Oh yeah.
So to me, but that also makes it more. To me, the crowd singing for their wrestler, it makes it, to me, gets the crowd more invested into the match. Even though, like, it kind of, I see where your point, where it could take you off the match, but to me, it gets them more invested, and it gets rid of the people who, like, the smarks who are like, oh, they let you enjoy the match for the match's sake, rather than caring about who won or who's going to lose in that moment.
Well, I think this event, there was only one disappointment to me, and that was the WWE missing out on possibly the smarkiest moment a crowd could recognize, and that's having Cassius Ohno be Cesaro's opponent. That's immediately what I thought it was going to be instead of Dragunov.
Yeah, that could have been it. I would have took a Cesaro Sammy because that's another match that like stood out in NXT and kind of put NXT up on the map. So,
but they need to promote the guys that they got.
They need the UK guys. Yeah.
So let's get into it. First match on the card, Noam Dar beat Travis Banks after the Nova Roller in 13 minutes and 55 seconds. Not a bad match.
Not a bad starter. It was meant for Dar to get back on the groove because he was on the shelf with an injury, if I remembered right. And like after the Alicia Fox thing, you know.
No, you gotta say it right.
Alicia Fox. After that, he needed a reboot, and this was a good reboot for him. It putting him in NXT UK because he's already a household. Not a household name, but a name that people can recognize from 205 Live and NXT Cruiserweight.
He was on his way to being the Scottish Barry Horowitz. Because being born in Israel, raised in Scotland.
Next match, Cesaro beat Dragunov with the neutralizer in 12 minutes and 26 seconds. Kind of is what it is. Like, I don't think anybody kind of expected an upset here. Hey, did the AEW call work? Is Mitch Mayhem with us?
Ah, shit. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, it's your call. It's your call, Scooter. You called them. We had
chocolate titties. Oh, you love me.
have you had another late night in the punky match?
Yeah. I love you as much as a fish loves air.
You're damn straight.
And we are talking about Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster defeating the grizzled young veterans and Gallus, Wolfgang and Joe Coffey to win the UK NXT Tag Team Championships.
I'm a Webster Morgan, Mark. For some reason, I like him.
I mean, I
like the mod gimmick. I like the mod gimmick.
Really?
I like the mod. Because it throws me back to my dad was into that shit. Yeah.
That's a visual.
I like it. Yeah. Well, no, what, in the British Rock?
No, just in those tight, way loud pants.
Oi, do you smell? do you smell what me mate is cooking?
That was 60s and 70s music. My dad was a huge Rolling Stones fan, but that's not mod. But still,
You said the British Rock.
Yeah, it all fits together. Mod. I just think I was going on the mod gimmick with Morgan.
It doesn't matter what your name is, love.
I get where you're going.
It's a pretty solid match. I kind of expected this to be like on a normal NXT pay-per-view. So for them to get Mark Andrews, who I've kind of been a fan of since he's come into WWE, and Morgan Webster, who I'm a little bit more new to, good for them.
Yeah, I was familiar with Webster Morgan before NXT, so.
Yeah. Alright, last man standing match. Joe Coffey beat Boomer Dave Mastiff after hitting him with a crate, preventing him to get up for the 10 count.
Are they taking a book out of AEW with the Cracker Barrel?
Technically, no, that's not how we won. Technically, Coffey won by just kicking the case away.
Oh, it's a case. Okay.
Case.
Well, that's a horse of a different color. Go ahead. Sorry.
It was a hell of a match.
It was. But, I'm actually very familiar with Joe Coffey, and he looked like $1 million in this match.
That's a good cup of Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he built himself on the performance with him and Pete Dunne, because he was a monster, dude, when he first jumped in. Kind of took a dip and came back up.
Hey, Scooter, yeah, extra cup of Joe, but I'm not into my coffee being extra black, extra hairy.
You were about to say extra black.
Yeah. Okay, moving on.
Kaylee Ray defeated Toni Storm with the glory bomb to win the title in 9 minutes and 52 seconds. This was probably the upset of the night, but I'm a Kaylee Ray fan, so I'm happy for her.
You just said Kaylee Ray. Okay, Kylie Ray and Kaylee Ray throw me off. Like,
yeah, I was about to say it. That's Kaylee Ray, not Kylie Ray.
I know, because the first time I heard it, I was like, that's why she asked for her release from AEW. And I'm like,
she was going to beat Toni Storm for the UK
Kaylee
Championship.
Ray.
Yeah.
Well, Kaylee Ray needs some potatoes. She needs to eat some oatmeal, like me.
Yeah, you need to eat a dick. Reason for this title change. Rumor has it Storm is headed over to the other side of the pond, or
that's where she belongs.
At least to NXT to give the NXT Women's Division some more contention.
Because
I don't see anyone besides her really like standing up to Shayna Baszler.
Well, they just brought Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley, that's what I was about to say. Yeah,
Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm, and they both are coming from NXT UK. So I just think that's unique. But go ahead. I'm sorry, Khalid. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was just saying the same thing. Like, that's basically what they're doing. They brought those two over there to bolster that roster, because at the point right now it's just Shayna versus the world on her Tupac shit.
Well, Shayna and her two horsemen buddies.
Right.
Well, I get your point. Yeah.
It's Shayna versus the world.
But my point is, they use that to get like Shayna and the horsewomen or whatever you want to call them versus like three. They'll get three baby faces. You know what I mean? To put extra people in the matches. They do that, so. Yeah.
I mean, considering they just turned EO heel, they need to bring a couple more faces there.
Dakota Kai, they got Mia Yim. They just got to use the right ones they have already.
Oh, speaking of Dakota, that's going to be my pick. That's the girl that's going to beat Shayna. Dakota fucking Kai.
Dakota Kai and Mia Yang are two of my favorites.
That's going to be the girl.
Mia Yim.
And the reason I say that is because it's going to be a callback.
Right.
Because she's been out, and Shayna's been the reason she's been out. And she's going to be the one to me.
Another one of my favorites that we now don't know the future of is Casey Catanzaro.
That's right. But, that's to say she even had a start. I mean, she really hasn't. She had a couple matches, but nothing significant at this point.
She's been working there for at least a year and a half, like in terms of like in the performance center.
One spot in the Royal Rumble does not a career make.
No, but but I mean, I'm talking about since she like started training to become a wrestler full time. Like she's put in every day there for about a year and a half now. That's where she met Ricochet. They're dating. So I'm just saying that like she still put like a lot of her time into it, and I know she's back injury or not. I still think she's gonna go. And fun. I just think it's unique that in this time and age, like in any other time, she would get her release, and she would be perfect fit for like an AEW with her flipping style and her offensive style. But WWE will never let them touch her ever. So
if you were, I don't know if you're familiar with her career in American Ninja Warrior.
Yes, I am. That's where I knew of her.
Yeah. And honestly, she wasn't very consistent there either. You know,
But she was. But
if
she was.
she would
What do
only
you call
put
it?
on
She was.
like a couple more pounds, like 20, 30 pounds, she could probably
No.
move mountains.
No, her heart is bigger than any weight. She doesn't need it. She's like me when I was younger. Your heart can drive your body. It don't matter. And she has heart of a lion, dude. And I didn't see any like when she failed. She was clutch. When it mattered, she rose to the occasion. That's what matters. So.
Well, back to the Kaylee Ray Tony Storm match. If Tony Storm comes on NXT TV, I'm not mad at having a little bit more Tony Storm on my TV.
Oh, dude, Tony Storm is amazing. More Tony Storm, please. Daddy
Yeah.
likey.
Wait. I'm getting this just in. Yes, we will be getting more Storm, but it's gonna be more Lance Storm.
I was gonna say, what's that hurricane called in Florida right now?
This weather update sponsored by Wrestling
Yeah.
Entertainment.
I try not to listen to the news anymore, as opposed to trying to.
This weather update. It's raining.
The
Stay
next,
inside, mother effers. Okay.
we are moving on to the NXT UK Championship. Walter defeated Tyler Bates after
Walter.
a lariat to retain the title in 42 minutes and 12 seconds. I honestly didn't think that match went that long. I thought it was maybe like 10 minutes less than that.
Real quick, if I could just say something real quick. I want to say this for in the future when this is like trademark this day. You like look back at this time. Walter will be a future WWE champion in the main roster. He's in 3 years. By the way, Scooter, you're right about Bray. Thank God you're right that they're going to give him the shot sooner rather than later. So just want to give you that.
Thank you for taking us to a completely different topic.
Just want to get that out because I'm going to shut up now. Go ahead, James.
Like, I needed to rub my eyes. But I was seeing double 4 Kalinkos.
Oh, you know I don't stay on topic very well. Come on now, you know me.
Yes. Off topic Mitch.
By now I used to be 6 topics by now. At least I stuck to 2.
Tyler Bate. You can't see it, but I'm covering my ears when Mitch talks and saying.
Shut up. Go ahead, James. Sorry.
Dave Meltzer actually gave this match 5.5 stars. The other one, and that's the first of 2 matches he gave 5.5 stars to. The other one being the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Bros.
That happened.
The way that sounded.
Yeah.
The way that pronunciation sounded was if we were on national TV, that would not have been good.
He gave 5.5 stars and a hand job.
The young what?
It is too hard to try to pronounce things correctly, damn it. It isn't.
I love it though. No, it's not a bad thing. That was funny. That was good.
Well, if I was trying to confuse, you might get confused if I said the old. But get both past that. What did you think about the match, Mitch? Because me and Kaliko and Scooter have talked briefly about it so far.
About the Walter Tyler Bate or what?
Yeah.
Like Scooter said, I think you just said it was a little too short, but that's a Walter match. Like you're not going to go too far with Walter.
No, it went 42 minutes.
It went 42 minutes.
Oh, I thought you said it went. I was going to say, okay, I caught the end of it, so I didn't see the whole match. I was going to say, I thought you said it went too short. Okay.
No, I said that it went.
No, I just caught the end of it.
It went a lot longer than I thought it would, and it felt like it was a lot shorter than 42 minutes.
Oh, a lot. I see what you're saying. Okay. From the end of it, it was just. From what I saw, it was just. Premier Walter and Tyler Bate does what he does. I just think it was a great match by Walter. What do you think, Scooter?
You were not here for our pre-show discussion. And the comparison that I made, and I'll make it again.
Okay.
This match was the modern day retelling of Hogan Andre if Andre had gone over Hogan and that match had actually been good.
Yeah, okay. Well, and yeah, if Andre was an agile flipper, like could do flippy moves and could do really good bumps, and yeah,
Andre was
tell a
known
better
for
story.
his 450 splash.
Yeah, I know. He wasn't known for his regular splash. He couldn't barely do that. So
Andre the Giant has a great 450 splash.
if he fell off his feet, it was hard for him to get up. For God's sakes, because he's a big man. He was a big man.
Later years, he was pretty fucking agile. And
every time he fell, it's hard for a big man to get up. I'm just saying.
No springboard plancha for you, boy.
God, that reminds me of the Jake Roberts story.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say.
He's like, oh, he just decided. He just decided. No, who is he
took a shit. He took a shit.
No, that was the Warrior.
Oh yeah.
He's sitting on Jake, or he's sitting on somebody.
It was
he did take a shit. He did take a shit on the Warrior though.
He was sitting on somebody, and he just wouldn't get up.
And he was laughing hella hard.
And I think Jake, or was it Slaughter? No, it was Jake that went over to him and was like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm farting."
And that's the thing. He was trying to fart too much, and it came out. Like something came out. That's what I'm trying to say. and then when something squirted out, he started laughing and wouldn't get off of him.
Okay, time to get back on subject.
Wait, but 5 minutes later, Jake comes back. He goes, "Why are you still laughing?" He goes, "I'm still farting."
Oh, that's great.
And things that are only funny to us.
Right? I know. We get it.
Let's run.
Sorry, James.
Sorry.
All right, Kaliko, what are your thoughts on the match as we were on this part? Kaliko?
To me, it was Tyler Bate. Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello? Can you?
Yeah, we hear you, buddy.
Yeah, we hear you.
There we go. It was.
Where are you?
Testing, 1, 2. Why did I sound like Fozzie Bear there for a second? Okay, go ahead.
Waka waka. But yeah, it was his best match to me. Like one of his best. Like that was his best match since Takeover Chicago against Pete Dunne. To me.
Well, I think Tyler Bates has always had really good matches. I think he's just one of those people that are severely underappreciated at this point.
Well, he's hella young. He's not even 22. He's barely 22, 23. He's young.
And I think his size keeps him down in Vince's eyes. Sorry, go ahead.
Don't forget, he was the first NXT UK champion.
Yeah, I was going to say that too.
Yeah.
Well, no offense to
I personally like
Bates, but I don't think Mr. McMahon has even saw a Tyler Bates match at this point.
I prefer Trent Seven over Tyler Bates, but that's just me, I guess.
What is this mustache mountain? Everyone.
I love Trent. I love Trent Seven. I don't know why they highlighted Trevor Bates over Trent Seven. In my opinion, personally.
I think because he's younger, probably.
Well, yeah, but I think Trent Seven's better right now. Maybe later Tyler Bates has the more potential, sure. But I thought you want to put Tyler Bates doesn't have the experience yet, so that a Trent Seven does.
He's been wrestling for a hot minute, and
he's 19. Yeah, for 20 years of his life, he's only been alive 20 years, 21 years.
But my thing is this: to say he doesn't have experience, that Takeover Chicago 2 match was arguably the best match of the night.
When I say experience, I mean in relativity to the others and how much time they've had experience-wise. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but he's close to Pete Dunne, and they could fight forever. Jesus.
Sure, but I'm just saying Trent Seven's been in the business a lot longer. Like, maybe half the time that Tyler Bate's been alive. I'm just saying. That's all I'm getting at. But I see the appeal of Tyler Bate. I see what you guys are saying too. So it's
all I'm saying
melding
is
pot.
that they might want to maybe wine and dine Tyler Bates a little bit more, with the fear that he might not re-sign with them, because if you feel underappreciated, that gives you.
It worked with the OC when they should have left. Look at them now.
Right.
Machine Gun and Gallows. So yeah.
And those aren't guys you want roaming the independents.
No, they were already doing it once before before the Indies got kicked off and it started becoming a big thing again. And they signed him up from NJPW, so they weren't going to let him go. I knew that.
Yeah. All right, that is our coverage of NXT UK Takeover. Now we are wrestling with
Fibromyalgia.
New Japan Royal Quest.
Sorry.
We're going to cover the main matches of this card, and the first one of that is Tonga Loa and Tamatonga, God, defeated Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis as the open in 12 minutes and 56 seconds. What's your favorite fruit, Kaliko?
Squash. I still think it's a vegetable, but squash.
It's got seeds of fruit.
Dude, you need to let it go now. Honestly.
Never let it go.
It's a fruit, and you know it. Siri told you so. You have to believe her.
Yeah.
She's gonna be your overlord one day.
Hey, Siri.
Yeah.
Siri, yeah.
Is Kaliko wrong?
I can't hear.
Yeah, found stuff. Or is Kaliko wrong?
Kaleko?
Kaleko?
Yeah, it's because they don't go.
But
just go.
by the way, yeah, I was gonna say they made a video game system after you, Kaliko, in the '80s, ColecoVision. No.
I think I was born right.
When I met you, I was like, "Oh, ColecoVision." For some reason, that popped in my head.
Yeah, people forget. Stop, love me. Don't get it twisted.
No, I'm just saying your name. I was like, "Oh," I associated that with ColecoVision.
Well, we know where the name comes from now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we know.
Well, not his. I just heard of it before.
Oh no, that's where it came from. No.
That's where. Okay. Oh, okay. Cool. I thought I was wrong. I was just joking. Okay.
Sponsored by ColecoVision. Yeah.
That was the Atari before. Yeah, sorry, but go ahead. This isn't a game web podcast. Go ahead.
We only talk about suits and vegetables. Like, this is going so far from a wrestling podcast than I had ever expected it would have.
It's a culture podcast.
I know. We do it for the culture.
Right?
Yeah. Tomohiro
No, it's time for us to down, everybody. No, yeah. Never mind.
Tomohiro Ishii lost to Kenta
I will never
in 20
dab.
minutes and 16 seconds with a go-to-sleep. Kenta is now the 27th never openweight champion, and maybe one step closer to having a Shibata Kenta match.
Yeah, the moment he turned on Shibata, that was the only route they could go, and it gives Shibata a high name guy, and Kenta's already hated anyway. So the way that they set that story up, I already kind of figured, oh yeah, Kenta Shibata never opened at Wrestle Kingdom. So it made sense. It just made sense to me. Because Ishii, he's going to be Ishii with or without the title. So it really doesn't make a difference to him. But for Kenta, it makes total sense to put the title on him because people already hate him anyway, and now he's a champion, and now he's with Bullet Club. So it showed the benefit of him, the fruits of his choice by joining Bullet Club. Hey, I joined the Bullet Club. Now I'm a champion. Fuck all of you guys, type shit. And then here comes Shibata with the white horse to kick his fucking teeth in. So
yeah, it seems like things are starting to click for Kenta coming out of the G1.
yeah, and this was the move that they needed to go with anyway, because they were not accepting of him the way that they were of Moxley.
Oh God, no. I think it's just the fact that Moxley is, I don't want to say better known, because obviously Kenta comes from Japan. But
yeah, that's the worst part.
Maybe he just, the fans didn't feel like he deserved to be in that position. Especially after that Evil match. When he beat Evil, they were like, no way.
Hell yeah. It could have started there, but I don't know if they still got like a beef with Noah or whatever, but it just seems like it's crazy. Like he's from there, he's of their people, and they pissing on him like Die Rocky Die, except it's like silence. The silent Die Rocky Die.
It's working for Kenta now, so he's going in the direction he needs to go in.
Yeah, he does. For him, anyway.
Next match, Zack Sabre Jr. in London, England, for the British Undisputed Championship, lost to Hiroshi Tanahashi in 17 minutes and 39 seconds with a high-fly flow.
I know you were happy, weren't you?
Oh, this made my fucking year.
Yeah, how many cats did you high five?
I high fived my dog. This is what dreams are made of. Was this match right here, and it came out of freaking nowhere, honestly.
Yeah, because you would have thought Zack Sabre Jr. in your hometown.
Oh,
I didn't think they were going to go the WWE route. The hometown loser. You know what I mean? They usually don't go that route, but they went that route.
Right.
So give them props for that. And you got to give props for Zack Sabre Jr. for taking that one, too, because he took one for the team.
No, I don't have to give him anything.
Yeah, true. But I'm just saying, still give it to him, though. Give him a little something. A sprinkle of water. Piss on him when he's on fire for once. I mean, just saying.
Well, I have to think about it. Well, I do have kidney stones, so, you know.
You could give him a kidney stone.
So do
That I
What's
would
the
do.
point?
Last match on the card, Kazuchika Okada defeated Minoru Suzuki in 33 minutes and 25 seconds. Okada hit the Rainmaker to retain the championship.
I mean, what can we say? He's the best in the world right now. Like,
Yeah,
it's not even close at this point. Like, he's it.
at this point, in my opinion, it's just a waiting game for him and Ibushi at Wrestle Kingdom. In my opinion, there's just going to be a lot of placeholders facing him, and we're all going to know that he's going to win in every single one. So
It's gonna be interesting though, because
not until
Naito's got a match. I think he's trying to get a match with Ibushi, so he can try to get the briefcase and try to merge the title. It's not gonna happen.
It's gonna be Ibushi.
It's nice to see him try to throw the wrench in it.
I get what you're saying, but with the story that's going on now, I think it's so apparent that it's going to be Ibushi Okada that if no matter what they throw at it, and they try to throw some surprises in that they could hold out for later and use later, that's kind of what WWE does. They blow their wad before they should, creatively speaking. And so maybe they should hold out, in my opinion. But Knowing New Japan, they won't. I just don't think they need it.
Oh no, they won't. It's gonna be a lot of shit in between. So yeah, I agree with that.
Right.
And Okada 31 at this point, the greatest wrestler currently. And Minoru Suzuki still beats the living shit out of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Well, man, Suzuki, you can see the battle years on his skin, bro, on his face. You could see the years of battle on him, bro, just by how he looks, the look on his face.
Right,
Like,
and
you
it
could
seems
see-
like whenever he fights Okada, he puts a little
I'm not
extra
talking about
stink,
scars. Yeah,
He
I'm
puts
talking about like
a little extra stink in those blows to just hand it to Okada.
you can tell he's seen some shit over his years.
I mean, this is the same
He's done
dude that
some
beat
shit.
the shit out of.
Done some shit, seen some shit, been through some
Oh.
shit. That's what I mean.
This is the same dude that beat the shit out of Asuka at one point when Asuka
Yeah.
was in New Japan.
Right?
So yeah, it does not surprise me at all what the hell he's capable of. But I mean, it was a typical Suzuki match. He gave it his all, but at the end of the day, Okada's Okada.
And Okada will be wrestling Sonata at King of Pro Wrestling in October. We'll talk about that later down the road. But honestly, Sonata not winning that match.
Yeah,
Obviously.
it's almost like the Golden State Warriors versus the Brooklyn Nets at this point. Like it's basically.
Yeah, Brooklyn Nets. You mean from last year? The Nets are actually just as good now with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
But never mind.
That's my point. Like that's how much of an odds he's got.
Oh, I thought you meant lopside. Okay, I thought you meant the opposite. I was gonna say.
The odds are stacked against him. But I will say this:
Never mind.
I hope that this match for Sonata, and you know me, man, I like Sonata. I hope they just highlight this dude and make him look like a fucking future champion or a future challenger for a champion. Because damn, he's good, and they just don't. They just don't.
He's
shit.
like, it's like Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, and a lot of others in WWE that should be a lot higher up in the card than they are. Like, it's kind of like that. Yeah, so.
But you kind of forget that Sonata's still young. And
Yeah, he is.
He doesn't look young, though.
And he's going
Not
up
to me.
against the greatest wrestler of probably this generation.
He looks old.
Yeah, he's not old.
I know, but he looks old. He just looks old.
Yeah, they make him look old with the gold
Yeah.
hair. When he had
No,
the
not
old-
no. I'm talking about Shibata.
Oh, I was talking about Sonata.
Oh, okay, yeah.
With the skull and stuff, he looked younger. The
Sonata. Yeah.
Skull stuff, he looked hella younger. But now they got him basically like Okada Jr. and it's just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got his start in TNA as, what was it, the Great? Was it him? Yeah, Sonata. Yeah.
Yeah. He was in
Yeah,
TNA for a spell.
Yeah. Yeah,
A cup of coffee.
he started in TNA as, like, he had the Great Muda gimmick, where he had his face painted like the Great Muda, and he was called the Great Sanaki, or I forget. I think he had the same name. I don't know.
I
But
don't
yeah.
remember that.
I remember it vaguely. But yeah.
Well, if you think about it, Okada was with Samoa Joe in TNA as well.
Yeah, as his Asian henchman with the Green Hornet gimmick, that was so racist. So racist.
It's to me, it's just hilarious that they had the greatest wrestler of this generation on their roster, and they didn't utilize him.
Well, that's what happens when you have Vince Russo booking your creative. That's what
That's
happens.
conclude our Royal Quest
Oh,
coverage,
Jesus.
and now we are wrestling
I heard that,
with
Scooter.
AEW All Out.
Hold on, I'd like a little bit of the bubbly, please.
At a steakhouse. Oops.
A little bit of the bubbly.
If you get what I'm saying. Because, go ahead, James, if you want to start this.
No. What?
I was just gonna say. I was gonna say, yeah, as Scooter just said, a little bit of the bubbly was enjoyed as Chris Jericho defeated Hangman Page and became the very first ever AEW heavyweight champion. And not even 24 hours later, he was enjoying a victorious dinner at a steakhouse, and the AEW title was stolen. It has been found on the side of a Florida highway since, but that one day of the title not being in the champion's hands, just Vince McMahon's got to be shitting himself in laughter, like of how unprofessional they looked from that. I'm not gonna hold out on that. That was so bad. It looked any other like years ago, any other company would not have been able to get through that, but they're able to use it into a gimmick. What?
First of all, if you believe he actually lost that belt, then I got a bridge I'd like to sell you.
Yeah, I don't think
you can't fake police report, Scooter.
Yes, you can. You
cannot.
Can.
Not legally binding. That's illegal. I mean, I see where you're going, but
they went to the walk-in police.
They could
shoot police.
Yeah, but if people like call you can get public records, and so they would have to put something on file that's not legally right.
The only time in recorded wrestling history,
I'm just saying
that a title was ever actually lost. And it wasn't lost as so much; it was given to somebody else as a gift.
I know what you're saying.
Was back in 1994 when the Nasty Boys gave Willie Nelson one of the WCW tag team titles as a gift.
Right. Okay, but I see this as feasible because AEW is such a right now by your pants league federation. They're going show to show. You can tell that the leadership is still figuring out how to do things. So it doesn't go past, in my mind, it does not seem completely out of the possibility that they don't know you can't have the champion carry out his title the night he won. It might get stolen to just, by precaution, not do that. It's Chris Jericho. Are you going to tell him no if he wants to? No.
I mean, when Brock Lesnar won the belts, he took the belts into the steak restaurant. I'm just saying.
Jericho, and I agree with your tweet, James. Jericho is the real. I know that's kayfabe that he says that, but he really is the reason that they're got a TNT deal. If it weren't for him, they wouldn't be on TNT right now. No way.
All I'm gonna say is, if you lose a belt, the last thing you're gonna do is be recording a video.
That's one thing. Yeah, okay. That's one thing. That's one reason that makes me think. Okay, that's why I didn't double down on it when Scooter said it.
That'd be the last fucking place I'd be if I lost a $30,000.
Yeah, but here's the kicker. AEW's different, so maybe that just food for thought. Maybe if this is real, that they said, okay, yeah, this is gonna look bad unless we do our thing that we usually do, and we take a shitty apple and we turn it into some really good apple cider, and that might, and then they turn it into a gimmick after the fact.
That's the shittiest apple I've ever seen.
Oh, it could be a shit apple, but as long as you turn it into some sweet apple cider, that's all that matters.
All right, so all lost belts aside, what did the pit preview in a whole? What did you guys think?
Go ahead, Cleo.
We'll start with Scooter. We'll start with our guy.
I'll
end it off. I've been talking too much.
It was a good show. It started out interesting. I was right about Tennille Dashwood being in there.
Both of us were actually. Well, I said I wanted her to. Oops, I said him.
it started off hot.
So did Kaliko. Yeah.
And then it kind of just
Fizzled.
It fizzled out. Like, I don't know exactly like what at. Like, it just. I mean, honestly, Jericho Page was honestly nothing special.
The Bucks and the Lucha Brothers, I think, was the best.
Yeah, I mean that probably was, and honestly, that's like
and the three-way with Jimmy Havoc.
Mitch.
I like Havoc. I'm a Havoc fan, so.
Yeah, the Cracker Barrel Clash.
That was the first half.
And of course, leave it to AEW to show their progressiveness by having the
Don't
first,
get me started.
By having the first transgendered woman in professional wrestling.
Actually, glad you
win
said
the
that.
Battle Royal.
Yeah, real quick. I think that has so. I don't know the specifics, and this is just hearsay. So please don't put me to this. It's not for sure, but I'm hearing that not that she doesn't like it, but that there's some disagreements with like exactly everything that was happening with Kylie Ray and AEW, and something to do with that fact is why she left. I don't know for sure everything behind it, but it seems like that has something to do with it.
What about you, Kaliko? What did you think about the show?
It's physically... never mind.
You know what's funny? Everyone's saying it started off hot. It came out at the end. I'm the opposite. Because I had no expectations for the opening match. Because to me, AEW is top heavy. So I think the Pac Kenny match was the best match. Everything else picked up after that, and it just showed you what AEW was going to give you from their top stars. Because it just showed you, hey, with Kenny, it's just going to be pure technical wrestling. With the Young Bucks, it's going to be a fun spot fest. With Cody, it's going to be a lot of storytelling. And then the main event, while it wasn't the greatest, but it did what it needed to do to get Jericho as the primary franchise of the fucking company.
Right. Yeah.
And
real quick, I just said like the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros was probably my favorite. No, I was rethinking that. My favorite was Cody, and I'm a storytelling kind of guy. So my favorite match is Cody and Shawn Spears. But I think that Pac had the night of he had the night. Like, he had the best showing of the night. So, in my opinion.
And we'll talk a little bit more about that match when we get to it.
Yeah. But, yeah, overall, you can see that there's still a fledgling growing company that still needs more names, because a lot of the names they're working with are a lot of, like, Private Party. They're great, but they need some seasoning, so to speak. Like with WWE, they would be in development, or they would be in development for at least a year or two, at least, with WWE. So you're seeing people that are super green, and they're getting their chance before they should.
The fire, right?
Pretty much. Well, it's TV, national TV, yeah. But I think some of them will succeed. Thrown into the fire, they'll succeed that way, because they seem to be picking up people that are Maverick-like and seem to be, good in that kind of pressure. But we shall see who else joins them, how it progresses. I know Marty's on the way, but for right now, they need to better their backstage production, because I know Scooter could probably agree with me on this. Someone who's been backstage, you can tell that, like, they're not, like, in terms of knowing how to run a show, they're not even on the same level as WWE in terms of knowing how to. They're running by the seat of their pants. You can
production
wise. Yeah. So besides that, I like it's awesome that there might be the first transgendered women's champion. I just think it's unfair for the other women in a little bit. She's a bus of a mountain woman. I feel horrible for them. So, other than that, it was a good show. So.
All right, so I'll briefly say about my experience with the show. I enjoyed it. I thought it started off really good. They came in hot with their pre-show, which their pre-shows have been crap so far.
Oh, dude, like dog shit, like horrible, yeah, bad.
Everything after the Pac and Kenny match was kind of the pee break, the poop break, and let's have snacks break.
The only thing on the pre-shows I've ever been able to watch is like the Best Friends match and the Private Party matches in SCUs.
Right.
I can't watch Michael Nakazawa or the Librarians or that bullshit.
And it kind of fell flat for a long while until
Orange Cassidy. Ugh.
The Young Bucks and Lucha Bros match, which I thought was the best match on the card.
It depends on your style. Yeah,
match.
It's a style fest. Like Kaligo, he said it best. And they said this when they were coming in, but they're going to give all kinds of styles, and you could see that. Like you got the Kenny style with Pac, and then you got the flip style with the Bucks and Lucha Bros. Then you got the old school wrestling with the
Cody.
Yeah, but it's more of like a thinker's game. It's very mental. Yeah, so it's a good dynamic. It's just I look forward to seeing how they're going to meld it. Like how much is if they're going to go heavy on one aspect, or they're going to keep it spread out, or what.
Also, can I say 5 hours? That's a long fucking time. NXT was like two hours tops.
Oh, we're gonna have fatigue for sure.
Oh yeah,
big time. I remember back when I was a kid with the WCW versus WWE. Up here in Sacramento, I got from 5 to 8. I got WCW, and then right at 8 o'clock, I'd have 5 straight hours of wrestling. I've had 5 straight hours before. I took it like a champ, but I was maniacal back then. And not many people are maniacal. Exactly.
And 5 hours from the crib is different than 5 hours sitting in that stance. Trust me.
Oh, way different. Yeah, way different. Different game. Yeah,
totally. All right, let's get into it. Casino Battle Royal winner Nyla Rose. We talked about this briefly, but
I didn't like that would come. I'm just not I prefer other people. It's not that I don't like Nyla Rose. I just prefer others.
And I actually kind of agree with you, Mitch. I think it's kind of nepotism is the best word to have your first women's champion be.
She's really good friends with them already. Yeah.
Transgender. It's kind of like having your first United States champion being Canadian.
It's very hard of a road to navigate in this time of age, especially because in this polarizing time, number one, it's hard to talk about these issues. People on both ends get wild about it. So it's one of those issues where it's hard to even speak your opinion on it. And I'm glad that people are having opportunity. That's great. I'm just saying that it shouldn't be lopsided for one or the other. We should all, everyone needs to work together, and it can be accomplished without tilting it one way or the other. But I digress. So.
Concerning the Battle Royal aspect, I kind of felt like this was a clusterfuck of what the fuck. You kind of never knew who was actually eliminated because the girls were coming in and out of the ring, and it was like, oh, I thought that person got eliminated. Oh no,
they need to change the battle. Yeah, they need to change the structure of the casino battle royal. In the future. I mean, I like it, but the 5 at a time at once. First off, why aren't they fighting on the way to the ring if they don't like each other so much? That makes no sense. That they're just in a single file line, orderly walking to the ring. Makes no sense. No sense whatsoever.
The problem I have with it is, just have them all in the ring at the same time. Not like, go outside of the ring, fight on the outside, then come back in the ring. Which defeats the whole purpose of a battle royal. And when somebody gets eliminated, actually show it so we know who is actually still in the match.
Yeah, right. I agree. And like a few times I saw where I forget who Nyla was eliminating, but you could see that it was an elimination spot, and she threw her through the middle rope, and then the announcers acted as if it was an elimination. Then she got back in the ring, and they redid it. So it was very sloppy, really sloppy.
Right. Next match, Private Party defeated Jack Evans and Angelico. Poor Jack Evans and Angelico. No.
But then they turned. So, and this is what AEW is good at doing. They have been, whoever loses seems to be getting over at the end. They like to get people over in a loss. And it's different. So.
The thing that kind of took me out of the match
they didn't lose
was
their heat.
Quinn's sunglasses came off of him fairly early in the match this time around.
Well, the way he was flying around, I mean, he was flying around the same time, but I mean, he was going extra this time around, and so gravity's going to catch up to you sooner or later, man.
Yeah, but he was honestly solid match. I like the guys.
He's not Ricochet.
I like all the guys in this match, so not too much backlash from me. What did you, Kaliko and Scooter think?
I still think Angelico's like a dark horse to be something big in the future, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't watch it.
That's okay. It was the pre-show. And the pre-shows, and the pre-shows before that were garbage. And so you probably were like, oh, this is going to be garbage.
I was too busy eating a steak.
With a little bit of the bubbly.
That's right. A little bit of the bubbly. I mean, to me, this match, it did what it was supposed to do. I mean, Private Party was the unknown people, the who the fuck was that people, and people bought it. And they signed them and gave them a credible win to give the people what they want, because I will say this Private Party came out of nowhere.
They opened my eyes when I first saw him. I was like, that dude with the glasses is the future, bro. He's future. Because I saw, I know exactly what you're saying. My jaw was dropped. I was like, where did these guys come from? I'd never heard of them before I saw them on AEW.
Yeah, so it just gives them that, and then they also need to build this tag team tournament, which we have yet to figure out who's in it. So
real quick though.
We need brackets.
Yes, but hear me out real quick. But I got okay. So with what WWE is doing with tag team wrestling, this is refreshing. The AEW roster is already great in terms of their tag division. Now you add Santana and former LAX. You add them. This is, I think now it's AEW is now tilted over WWE in terms of tag team talent.
Right.
Well, WWE's response, they're going to get Santana and Rod Thomas.
I think they signed, I forgot who they signed. They signed somebody.
That was a good one.
It just reminded me. They did sign somebody. I forgot who. They just signed. I can't even remember.
Who? Who signed? AEW or WWE?
WWE.
I think. Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Well, Kaliko tries to find that out.
Okay. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, Ricochet has confirmed that apparently Casey Catanzaro is still with.
I knew it. There was it was up in the air. So
King Cuerno. There you go.
Yes,
that was his Lucha Underground name.
And El Hijo de Fantasma.
Yeah, Fantasma.
Oh, okay, Fantasma.
Yep, buddy.
Yeah, so, King Cuerno has been in talks with the other WWE and others for a while now. Honestly, since March. I'm surprised that I know he was trying to get out of his Lucha Underground contract because Joey Ryan and Evil East were as well, but Lucha Underground's dead now. Everyone's out of their contract, so it's pretty much dead.
So we are on the live broadcast now, the actual paid preview, and briefly I want to talk about the commentary because the commentary was 10 times better than it's been the last couple of times. I think that might be a credit to Golden Boy being a part of the commentator's booth, and maybe
Alex Marvez sucks.
Oh God, yes.
I hate him. And what happens is they subbed in Golden Boy for Marvez. You could see the difference right away. I think that was the difference. Excalibur's actually good. I would keep him there. I think Jim Ross holds them down.
Yeah, Jim Ross was so just not there.
And you could tell that he is still stuck in the past. He can't deal with like the wrestling of the day, the way some things he says, yeah.
Yeah,
I think he did
a
better job this time around. I think
I didn't like it. I agree with
Scooter. He was more on this time around. He was a little bit more witty.
I didn't think so.
Cracking jokes with them.
Every now and then, he was Jim Ross. Jim Ross, to me, you gotta like Jim, but he has the caliber of excellence that I expect from Jim Ross, and that wasn't a Jim Ross performance that I've seen in Pat, like when he's on, you know.
All right, first match out, so-called Uncensored defeated the Dinosaur Express. What are they? The Jurassic Express.
No, the
Luchasaurus, Golden Boy, and
Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus.
Jurassic Express.
Jurassic Express. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Why the fuck was Marco Stunt in this match?
I don't care because I hate Marco Stunt. I really do. But real quick, there is a hilarious bit that I wanted to show you guys on Being the Elite, where Luchasaurus has Jungle Boy on his shoulders, and then he's walking Marco Stunt like a dog, and then I forget, Johnny Mundo comes around. I forget what was said, and they say break, and he lets Marco Stunt off the leash. Jungle Boy gets off Luchasaurus' shoulders, and they run for a stop sign, and they do this parkour. You gotta see it. I've never seen anything in my life like it. One swings one way around it, and Marco Stunt swings really low below him around the other way. It was crazy. I'll get a clip for you guys.
I mean, I like Jungle Boy. I think he's talented. He's not going to get far with that gimmick, though. Luchasaurus
is going to be a star, bro.
Without a doubt.
He should have been in NXT, but they blew that one.
But up to get his Big Brother fame.
I mean, I think these guys, they might be the future of this company, and then I see Marco fucking Stunt. You know that this was a Matt and Nick Jackson ideal. I mean, honestly,
for sure.
I'm sorry, but it just shows what they're into.
And real quick, I like underdogs. You know what made me hate him immediately? When last year, when he got in the ring, and that right there, I was like, I hate you already. And he was a little boy-looking dude. He's 19, barely. So yeah, I don't think he belongs in there yet. I'll agree with you on that. I really do.
You mean there's actually a chance that he grows more?
Maybe laterally. I don't know about vertically. But no, yeah, so I agree with you on that.
Next match, Pac No Yob to Kenny Omega, Viva TKO.
I'm glad. Pac was a very we all know how good Pac is, but it was, for some reason, I was surprised to see him stand out above everyone else. I shouldn't have been. I guess it was because of the promotion on everyone else. I was expecting more from Hangman. I was expecting more from a few others, but Pac hit it out of the park. he's one of the best characters in AEW. And then after the win,
doesn't have a contract with AEW.
But he's going to be doing more. They already confirmed he's going to be doing more with them. It's a handshake deal.
If that's the case, then maybe it's okay. I just kind of felt like this was a contained incident where they needed a big name. Pac was available, and they were like, "Well, we need this really big name, but it's at the stake of Kenny Omega losing because we know that he's not going to lose, but we kind of need him."
No, because I think they went through this with the Hangman Pac situation. They know how valuable Pac is, and I think Pac realized you got Hangman and him. Why put them together right away and one has to lose? That doesn't make any sense. And so they built up Hangman where he's only lost to Jericho, so now they're going to face, and there's more stakes at risk between them, in my opinion. So I think it's better that way. So things work out, and they work out in the long run. Things happen the way they happen for a reason, ultimately.
What about you, Kaliko? What do you think about the match? I know that you, this is what a pay-per-view started for you.
Yeah, to me, I think this match was what made it pick it up to me. Just because, I like Kenny Omega already. Like, to me, he's one of the top 5 best wrestlers in the world. I kind of felt like he was kind of put in that corner because I don't know how it would have been with the Moxley match. It kind of makes me feel like that could have been the direction that they were going with anyway, because there is no storyline attachment to this match. So
that's what I was considering too.
So it makes sense, like, for him to lose, but it just seems like how many more can he take? Because he's one of the guys that's not like winning every match in AEW.
He's not gonna lose this next match. I'll bet everything I have. He's Kenny Omega. They're gonna make sure he doesn't go on a they're gonna use this for gimmick purposes for him to be like, I'm on a losing streak, but he's not gonna go too deep. I promise you.
But right now,
he's not too deep in the loss streak. I mean,
he's 1-2.
That's not that 1-2. That's better than 2-10. Like, you see what I'm saying?
1-2 can go to 2-10. They won't have him lose their next match. I'm just saying. I know the nepotism won't allow them to.
What?
Won't allow them to have Kenny lose again.
What I'm kind of thinking is Kenny is maybe a little bit more accepting of losses.
He doesn't take himself seriously. He really doesn't. He doesn't. Hold on. He doesn't have an ego like I know Cody does, and I know in a different way the Young Bucks do. They just do in a different way. They're humble, but a lot of us have ego. He doesn't have ego in many ways. He doesn't.
I think he doesn't feel at this point a couple of losses are going to break him.
But I just like the way he speaks and the way he interacts. I can tell he doesn't have that ego. Like it's not a big deal to him. To him it's like, why get in the way of business just over a fake wrestling match, win or loss? To him, that's childish, probably. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. He doesn't feel like wins and losses really matter that much to him, and he's willing to put over talent that could really use that push at this point.
And there were mentors or people that I looked up to when I was going through my indie run that did that, and those were the best wrestlers, the people who tried to make everyone else around them look better. Like, those were the best people to work with, in my opinion.
Anything you want to add, Scooter?
Hold on, I had to put my headset down for a second.
Where's Waldo?
He's up your mom's ass.
No, that's a candy cane. No.
I find it funny with Kaliko sitting where he is. It looks like he's got the friggin' thing sticking out of his ears.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
With the
In
I
the
don't see
dungeon.
anything.
In the
Yeah.
dungeon.
I'm like, oh, Yoda, Black Yoda.
Black Yoda.
Omega will take.
Maker of Rain was WWE.
I can't see his video. Yeah.
Man, even Stevie Wonder could see him. No.
I guess I'm blind. No, my phone's a piece of crap. But anyways,
Omega. I get the feeling they wanted to go in one direction with Kenny,
right?
but then
Fate. Things happen.
Like they're positioning. Yeah, they're gonna position Cody and Kenny to be.
Oh,
1 and 2, if not 1 and 1.
Real quick, funny you said that. Did you hear the announcement? I forget which show, but it has been announced that Cody will face Jericho, be the first one to face Jericho for the AEW title.
You're late to the party. We discussed that.
Well, not since I was here.
Yes, November 9th, Full Gear. Stupidest
Full Gear
name ever.
Yeah, that name comes out of a joke that they had with Adam Page. Yeah.
Like I was expecting another,
Casino gimmick.
Casino like Aces Wild or Jackpot or
Hold 'em and fold 'em.
What are they going to have every show in Las Vegas or Atlantic City or something?
AEW presents the Bellagio.
Yeah, do you expect them to go to Atlantic City or Las Vegas every time?
Sin City Showdown, Violence in Vegas, Snake Eyes.
Great ball.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, we might have a contender for stupidest pay-per-view name ever after, In Your House at Time.
No, Great Balls of Fire was pretty up there.
I was just gonna say, Great Balls of Fire is probably
because the first day and I'll tell you why. It accompanied a bad graphic that literally looked like flaming testicles.
Yeah.
Check it out. You think I'm lying?
No. I saw the graphic.
Great Balls on Fire.
And that was when me and Scooter were calling stuff together, and he didn't hear the end of it for me.
The Great Balls of Fire will burn into our minds.
Oh, that's why I smelled hair burning.
All right, next match.
Yeah, that was I'm stuttering.
Jimmy Havoc defeated Joey Janela and Darby Allin in a Crackle Class 3-way match.
My boy. The dude that I chose in this one, we all three chose different people when Scooter was gone.
And I
chose Havoc. Yep.
I also picked Jimmy Havoc.
Wait, what? I didn't hear that.
Jimmy Havoc too.
No, we did 3-way. You chose Darby Allin, and he chose
Janela. Dude. I told you I would change it at the last minute.
Touche.
Honestly, great fucking match. I love all three of these guys. The only issue I had with the match was I don't like extreme rules matches when.
So hence to say you didn't like the thumbtacks?
No, let me finish, Mitch. I don't like these kind of matches when there's not like a major grudge to be had. You know what I mean? It kind of.
So you don't.
It's hardcore for just the sake of hardcore. At that.
You don't like the gimmicks out there with nothing behind it, just for no reason, right? I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it doesn't take away from my enjoyment of the match, but when you're stapling the head of somebody that you really hate, it kind of adds a little bit more. Or putting thumbtacks in somebody's mouth.
I think it'll get better as we go on. Just right now, before TV, it's going to be like that, but it'll get better. Go ahead, Scooter.
Like, leave it to them to make the most epic spot in a match called the Cracker Barrel Clash.
Oh
A
my
spot
God.
with an actual barrel.
Man, that barrel was that a fake barrel or what? That exploded so fast that he might have like ping ponged off those stairs. I don't think he had any like
I think the
padding
barrel
between him.
I think the barrel exploded out of fear before it hit the
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, am I the only one that like this match was sponsored by Crackle Barrel? Now I expected a Waffle House brawl. That's where
like
fights be popping off in the South.
like
But
I'm surprised
Well, Darby
there wasn't
Allin
more-
was in it.
I'm surprised there wasn't more food being thrown around. Like they had the biscuits.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that biscuits. I was like, no.
they didn't throw any of the gravy around. They didn't throw any of that, chicken
Wait,
fried
but-
steak.
Not
I was
just
disappointed
food.
that
Wait,
there
wait.
was-
Not just food, but also garden furniture. Because they're known for buying garden furniture while you eat. It's redneck heaven.
And I was disappointed that there wasn't like thumbtacks baked into the biscuits. Like that's like a total Jimmy Havoc thing in my mind.
I mean, but that'd be disrespectful to the biscuits. Don't disrespect the biscuits like that.
What? Jimmy Havoc's the man. What you talking
Then
about?
how could, well, if
They-
you're
they-
gonna- I think it's more disrespectful to using the biscuits as weapons than maybe making them a little bit more lethal.
Unless someone caught one in his mouth. That would have been awesome.
I mean,
that
but
would've
then
been awesome.
but then they'd have to charge the thumbtacks.
What?
Wah wah wah.
That wasn't funny.
It was a little funny.
You want to pay the thumbtacks? Mick?
I mean, but I will say that spot where they did the monkey flip and my man was sitting in the chair, that was a hell of a spot.
Oh, for sure. They're spot. That's why they call them spot monkeys.
I think
But yeah,
Judge and Ella
Fuck,
greatly
monkey.
underappreciated at this point.
you said monkey flip. They gave it right to me. But anyways,
Yeah,
you
gave
served it on a silver platter, my friend.
just like a big sap of biscuits.
Sponsored by Crackle Barrel.
Not the cheese.
Not us. We're not. Yeah,
Yeah.
Screw that. We're more sophisticated. Like Coleco said, Waffle House.
IHOP.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We're more sophisticated. Denny's is our place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we're gonna fight, we ain't fighting at Crackle Barrel. We fighting at the cheapest fucking restaurant possible.
Yes, we like to
Let's
have. We
I
like
was
to
gonna
have
say,
our
let's go
diarrhea.
fight.
We like to have our diarrhea before the meal's over.
I was gonna say, like, what? Either we go to the cheapest place. That Cracker Barrel is pretty damn cheap, or we go have a fight in the Whole Foods,
Oh, that's like a
and that will
$1,000.
create a lot. That'll create all exactly that will create a lot of damage financially. That's what I'm saying. In
Yeah.
WWE,
I would
WWE,
be-
that's something they would do. They love to waste money on frivolous stuff like that.
Crackle Barrel is not the cheapest. When at Waffle House, you could get a whole breakfast for $5.99, my man.
Okay. Well, you know what? I've never eaten at Cracker Barrel, and I probably will never because they don't have them up here. I'm not in the South, so thank God for that.
Last year for my
Crackle
birthday.
Barrel here is in Arizona.
What'd you say, Scooter?
I ate a Cracker Barrel last year for my birthday when I was in Atlanta.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Crackle Barrel, Crackle Barrel in Atlanta.
Did you like it? No, honestly, did you like it?
Oh, I love Southern food. I love it.
Oh, I like Southern food. It depends on where you get it.
Yeah, Crackle Barrel in Atlanta is nice. Crackle Barrel.
It's like anything. It's like if you get a burger, do you want to get the burger at McDonald's or at a good burger spot? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
alright, next match. Dark Order. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson defeated best friends Chucky T and Trent. And they got a bye in the tournament for a tournament spot. In a tournament, we don't actually know what the brackets are yet.
Okay, real quick, they're always gonna be known by me as the Dark Molesters. I hate these guys. I will never like these guys. The dude in the dude that has all those dudes like gel into a chair. That's kind of cool, but he looks like a fat pedophile. So I'm not a fan.
First off, I like.
And it's even creepier with the mask. Sorry.
First off, I'd like to say this match did not meet my expectations of what the Dark Order has done in the past for me. And
yeah, you really popped in like we're telling me you're like, oh, you love them, Mitch. Just wait, and wow.
Yeah, and I'll get to that in a second. And this is kind of where the paid preview leveled off for me. Was this match? I agree with you, Mitch. I kind of hate the Dark Order gimmick. They kind of look like an evil SMN group.
S&M, yeah.
Yeah. And
is it just me, or does the Viking-looking dude, like when he poses, is it just me, or is he cross-eyed?
I can tell you, but
he looks cross-eyed, and it looks so goofy.
You know, if you go back to the matches they had in Ring of Honor,
they look so retarded.
They had some really good matches against the Young Bucks and SCU. Oh, and it's like, how did Ring of Honor never get these guys? Because they're phenomenal. They didn't have this stupid Dark Order gimmick. They were just they were these guys, but they didn't have this stupid gimmick.
Okay, it was real quick though. All due respect, anyone can get a really good match with SCU. They're pros, bro. They're the best of the best. They're veterans for a reason. They can pull anyone into a good match at this point, in my opinion. When I see them against people like the Best Friends and others, I'm just not impressed. When they're against SCU, people who can carry them, you're like, oh, I could see why they were brought here. But when they're not against people like that, they expose themselves, so to speak.
And that's disappointing because maybe it was just a styles clash between them, or maybe they just need somebody that will bump for them.
Can I tell you? At this point? I think I know what it is. I think it has to do with, you know how Roman Reigns was shoved down our throats, and that's why I didn't like Roman for a long time. They're kind of being shoved down our throats. We didn't want them to. They're winning everything. No one knew who they were. We didn't get a chance to warm up to them, and so I think that has something to do with it.
So are you saying we're waiting for them to get leukemia?
Oh, good Lord.
That was a low blow. That is below our standards.
I'm not the one who said it this time. Oh my God. That's a miracle in of itself, man. Usually I'm the one to say the crazy shit.
I mean, the match underperformed for the spot that it was in. I will say that. Like, it,
to say the least.
They had to follow like a hardcore match in the Crackle Barrel Brawl and
you keep saying Crackle Barrel
and Omega Pac. So I mean, it was just that match should have been a match. I know they're trying to highlight like tag team matches, but I thought that could have been like a starter match or the second match on the card rather than the third match on the card.
Hey, Kaliko. Kaliko.
Yeah.
You keep saying Crackle Barrel. You know it's Cracker Barrel, right?
I'm from the South. We never say cracker.
I'm just making sure because it's funny. I keep hearing you say
I'm from goddamn Georgia. And my folks in Georgia.
Hey, that's cool, man. I'm cool with it.
We don't say Cracker Barrel. We say Crackle.
Hey,
You're a cracker?
I've got roots like family that live in Arkansas, but I'm not from the South, so I don't know that kind of stuff. I'm sorry.
Roots, more like weed.
I mean, it's not like it's Antonio Brown calling somebody a cracker, you know.
I'd like to ask maybe Kaliko this question. You know, the next match on the card is Riho and Shida. So do you think maybe if that match was after the Pac match, and then this match kind of came after that match, that it would have helped the Dark Order and Best Friends, or do you think that these next two matches were kind of doomed from the start?
I mean, they were doomed from the start just on the simple fact that they put their, in my opinion, the best match before, you know what I mean? They still need to work on match structure, to me, from what I see, because the placement of the matches, it should have been building on a way up and it just seemed like after that Pac Omega match, it kind of went up and then it went down, and then they tried to bring it back up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Rather than letting the card build you to the climax, which is one thing I will say NXT is really good at. They are good at placing their matches where they need to be to make the card build to the crescendo.
NXT is the best wrestling product on television today, bar none.
For now.
For now, but it for the last few years, it has been the great, like the best in terms of for wrestling fans that are older and like pure sport. That's been the premier spot to go to watch.
For their pay-per-views, it's weird because everybody can say like not every pay-per-view's a home run, but they never say that the match placements were bad.
Right.
Which to me is that tells you like where you put those matches have a big difference.
Oh, big time.
Makes
so much. It's like you're putting together a Lego house in one bad block, and it can destroy the whole structure. So
next match, Rio
or one misplaced block in a way.
Hikaru Shida and will face Nyla Rose for the AEW Women's Championship on TV. Honestly, this match was just kind of on the card.
Real quick I've been speaking about trying to speak about this. I'm sorry, Scooter. Real quick, I'll make it really, really quick. Nyla might deserve to be in that, but she definitely deserves to be in it over Rio or the two Japanese women who are fighting for the spot. I don't think either of them deserve to even have a chance. The only reason they got a chance, nepotism. They're close to Kenny Omega, in my opinion.
I was just going to say that. Riho is best friends with Kenny Omega. So
they're shocker.
Even if Kenny isn't winning his matches, he's making sure Riho wins hers.
Yeah, everyone close to them are getting the pushes. I'm telling you.
Right. Next match.
Wait, hold on. One thing.
Maybe a rare exception every now and then.
Nyla Rose was asked about her match with Rio, and she had this to say: "Uda, uda, uda, Rio, uga, ga."
That was funny.
I know we're gonna hear backlash about that.
No, it's a joke. Come on, snowflakes. Have humor. Find humor in life. Enjoy life.
I would have said the same thing if it was Nia Jax.
No, you had a crush on Nia Jax.
I still have a crush on Nia Jax, but I would still do the same thing because that's
she's fucking cute.
She's beautiful. She's a beautiful woman, whatever her size is. I don't care.
You know what? Just focus on wanting to Nia her Jax, and I'm gonna have to focus on not trying to get sued because you guys are saying.
Hey, you said Nia her Jax.
There's nothing. What did I say? I didn't say anything bad.
Neither did we.
It's not like we're singing anything. You know, we're gonna get flagged like Tyler Bate.
I know.
Tyler Bate.
Stop singing, damn it.
Na.
Next match, Cody Rhodes with MJF defeated Shawn Spears with Tully Blanchard. Honestly,
you guys don't want to know the song I was gonna sing. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
Honestly, this is the story of Cody's AEW run. A lot of gaga and gimmicks in his matches, when there really doesn't need to be, honestly. I mean, if, Cody just went out there and had a really good match with Tully Blanchard, not Tully Blanchard, Shawn Spears, and maybe have Tully interfere once, maybe twice, and make it really significant a part of the match, it would have been a hell of a lot better than just, that that Gaga match, in my opinion. That Pat Patterson match.
Right. Real quick though, Scooter, I was gonna try to tell you real quick when we were just singing. I was gonna say my neck, my back, my pussy, and my crack. But go ahead. Yeah, anytime.
Yeah. Sean Spears was clearly. This is
Send
clearly
your
gonna
hate
pay.
tweets to Mitch Mayhem and
Yeah, boy.
Dust.
No, that's all me. He had nothing to do with that. That was all me. I'll take that one.
Sean Spears is preparing for his new gimmick where he loses his mind and thinks he's Stan again.
I was gonna say, I thought you were gonna say his virginity.
Again, send your hate tweets to Mitch Mayhem.
Oh my god! I just saw the irony that that Sean Spears was all hyped up as this. Oh, it's going to be different in WWE guy, and yet he takes a L to the WWE guy. Am I the only one?
By the way, real quick, I'm joking. Sean Spears, he will kick my ass. But anyways, go ahead.
I mean, that's just me.
Kick your ass, Mitch.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
No.
But to me, it just seemed like they made him go 8 steps forward to go 10 steps back. Because where does he go from here? Is the bigger question I have for a guy like Spears.
Obviously, Cody's going into maybe a rivalry with MJF and get him over, but Sean Spears
is sitting in no man's land.
Maybe a rivalry with Hangman. I'm not sure.
No, that's gonna be pocket for future.
Hangman. I mean, I guess that works.
They're doing it because didn't you see at the end of the press conference after All Out, they already started it. Pac came in and interrupted him and started started shooting on him verbally.
Right, but Pac's not going to be there every week for TV. So.
Not every week, but he will be there every now and then. They said he's going to be working with them going forward.
I'm just looking at it from the standpoint that Pac's a heel. Spears was supposed to be a heel. So where would the disconnect be? Where's the connect for Pac to even jump on him? You see what I'm saying?
Right. Unless they don't go with Spears and they kind of like drop him like they did in WWE.
I mean,
no, that won't happen.
No, they put too much investment in putting him with Tully to make him look. And that's why I was like, if he had got the win and they did something like a weekly tournament for the number one contender, that would have made him look so much more formidable than him taking this L and now he's like, okay, floating in space.
And the nepotism thing. He's best friends with Cody in real life. So.
And Cody not losing another match. The only match he's really, and I wouldn't even say he really lost, was against the Young Bucks, and that's against his best friend. So.
And I don't think he got pinned. His brother did.
No, he got pinned.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay, never mind then. Okay.
Yeah. I give him kudos for that, but
again,
it was against the Young Bucks, so there's only so much you could.
That's his friend.
Like much credit I can give. There's only so much you could give. I get it.
Yeah. And obviously Cody's going on to bigger and better things against Jericho. So yeah, this match kind of fizzled out before it kind of even started in a regard.
Yeah, unfortunately, because it could have been better for Spears had he won.
Real quick though, speaking about Jericho, I don't see Jericho losing the title anytime soon though. But yeah, I see what you're saying about Sean Spears if he won. Me and Scooter, we were talking as the event happened, and he knows he can attest for me. I called the Arn Anderson getting involved situation, but I was wrong in another aspect. I thought MJF was going to turn that night because
Right.
I saw the lead up and everything. I thought for sure he was going to turn.
Oh, but
So,
I kind of was I was waiting for that too as well.
but a lot of people didn't see Arn Anderson coming. I thought Arn and MJF would both be interlocked in it somehow, but I just thought MJF would turn. So 1 out of 2 ain't bad though. I did get one right.
The next match, ladder match for the AAA Tag Team Champions. The Lucha Brothers defeated the Young Bucks. This was a phenomenal match. Lots of spots, a lot of great spots, and
It's a spot fest, though. Yeah.
Well, that's what ladder matches are, honestly. And I thought they put on a good one.
I know, but you can put, like, the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian, they put a lot more psychology into it. You know what I mean? You could tell. But, I mean, there was psychology in there. It's just more fast-paced and harder for, like, in-between moves. It's just, like, not as much selling and not, you know what I mean? Like, it's more go, 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 go. And they don't sell as much. So it seems like these things that they're doing that look so effortless don't hurt as bad as they do. So they're kind of like reverse selling in a way.
Honestly, you sound like an old veteran.
In a way, sometimes too many spots.
Too many spots. It's in.
Well, me and Scooter are in a way. Me and Scooter have been through it, so we kind of are veterans. So yeah,
I hate to say it, but he's right.
What? In what way?
Yeah, that we're both veterans. I hate to admit when you're right on anything.
Gotcha. I thought you were talking about, you were agreeing with James.
What about
Usually you don't agree with me.
Spot fest or a good match?
I mean, it can be both. It was a spot fest. That was a good match. I mean, it was the typical. it was the typical Young Bucks match. If you see,
like, if you don't like a Young Bucks match, you're not gonna like it. Then that's
right?
What I mean. Yeah.
You're not gonna like the match, so,
right? And I get that from Scooters and like what he's saying. Like I get it. If you don't like that style, I get it. Everyone for their own. It's to each their own.
That's the whole point. They're trying to be the alternate Jack in the Box version where like they don't specialize in one thing, but they have a lot of stuff.
Right, but here's the problem where you get people like, oh, I like this. They're gonna see 2 or 3 things that, oh my god, I hate this, and it's gonna turn them off. That's what I'm afraid. See what I'm saying? Like the Michael Nakazawa shit and the Orange Cassidy stuff. Like that might turn them off. People that like Cody stuff and people that like Kenny stuff. I don't know.
I mean,
or Pac stuff, you know what I
mean? It'll turn off people who probably wasn't turned on by it anyway. So
because you get what I'm saying, right?
So so I get your point.
Well, kudos to the Young Bucks for finally taking the first fucking L in AEW. It took them it only took them 8 months at this point. At the end.
Real quick, I think it's going to lead to, if they win this tournament, then screw them. They are no better than Vince McMahon. But I think it's going to lead up to, like, if I were them, if they win this many in ahead of time, I think it's to build them up as, like, the tag team. They are the men. And then they're going to probably lose in the finals to whoever they skyrocket to the top. That's what I'm thinking is coming. So
after the match, LAX, Santana and Garrett. I think his name's Garrett.
No, Santana and Ortiz. Not Santana, Garrett.
And Santana and Ortiz, they might be those people that I was talking about. Take it
Santana
from the Young Bucks
and Ortiz. Fantastic tag team that maybe is a little underappreciated at this point because they were in Impact Wrestling.
And they both sound like 90s baseball pitchers. But yeah, go ahead.
But they're in AEW and hopefully they get that spotlight.
Yeah, oh, they will. That's why they went to AEW instead of WWE, because if they go to WWE, they're not getting that spotlight for at least a few years, if at all, because they're undersized.
And like you said,
but
they're attacking
AEW needed then roster wise. Their presence, like they go right to the top as opposed to right at the bottom of WWE. But yeah.
Well, you said earlier, Mitch, that AEW's tag team division is stacked. They have some real quality tag teams that.
And it's getting better and better. Yeah.
That are gonna really push the company forward.
Uh-huh.
And maybe what the top is lacking a little bit, where they only have a couple of top guys, and their women's division is kind of okay. Not the best, not certainly not the worst.
I don't like the women's title match. I don't think they have a true women's champion yet, because I don't like both women in the match. So for me, I don't like the women's division because they don't have the right champion. But I get what you're saying. But
in my opinion, Britt Baker was screwed. Bay.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, I said, I just didn't want. For some reason, I'm just not into Britt Baker as much as you guys are. So, did you hear about that? What was it? B. Priestley and what's her name? They got into a fight backstage because of the no sell.
Yeah.
What's her name? I know her name.
Yeah,
Sadie Gibbs. Sadie Gibbs. Sadie Gibbs. Sadie Gibbs stood up to her because I saw the spot too. Sadie did a gorilla press slam, and then she did not even wait a millisecond before hitting her knees, grazing the mat, before she popped up like a toaster and tossed Gibbs out. I think it was because I saw the way she did the gorilla press. It was badly botched. She looked like she was grabbing her by the crotch, and that it was it was badly done. And she dropped her in a very dangerous way. So I think that's why. I think it was just a bad move.
Isn't Priestley Will Ospreay's girlfriend?
I don't know about that. Scooter, do you know about that?
No, I do not.
That's not in my that's not in my knowledge bank, unfortunately.
Okay. Alright, next match. Chris Jericho defeated Hangman Adam Page to become the first AEW champion.
Yeah,
Adam Page came out on a fucking horse. So he was over.
Right, yeah. For a second, real quick, go ahead, Scooter, I'm sorry.
Bea Priestley is Will Ospreay's girlfriend.
Good call, James. But yeah, going on, he came in on a horse, as everyone else suggested, and he gave that horse a name. That horse's name is Hunter Horse Helmsley.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
Hello, gimmick infringement.
Hey, he's got a big nose like the real one. So
no, the gimmick fits.
It fits. Yeah, definitely.
If they bring that horse to every show, they might be out a shitload of money at the end of the year.
That's not possible.
But they would be over as hell.
After what happened with Pharaoh, they scared the crap out of that poor dog. I don't think they're going to do anything to do with animals from now on. That poor dog. You could see it scared out of its skin.
Yeah, what we keep talking about nepotism? Cody Rhodes had the largest pyro out of anybody.
And he had the craziest, sickest entrance. He gives himself crazy, awesome entrances every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I seen it. Dude, it's just like Vince McMahon. That's why I'm I gotta wait for a year until they have more big names and then see if they're still doing that crap and still putting themselves over other people consistently. If they do, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna be then there's no point in having a revolution if you're just gonna go and do the same damn thing that Vince does. Basically hypocrite shit, but yeah, I hope that's not the case. Go ahead.
All right, Kaliko, what did you think of the match?
I mean, it just showed they just gave the match to Hangman to get the spotlight on him,
To me, it just sucked because it's just like he fell. It's almost like his.
He was voiceless though. He did not look good.
If you remember when he faced Jay White in the Long Beach match,
Yeah.
it just like he was really good. He's really, really good, but they're not ready to pull the trigger yet. And of course they weren't going to pull the trigger here because hell, Jericho was going to be the man. That first champion got to put some credibility to it.
Steaks and bubbly.
A little bit of the bubbly, but
a little too much at this point, right?
now we got to see where they're going to go from here because they do have the tag title, they do have a women's title. Maybe they do a secondary title. I don't like a little workhorse title. I don't know.
They're gonna do a trios title. They're gonna do a trios title. Yes, for sure. They're gonna do trios, so they're gonna have a trios.
So we'll see where it goes from here for Hangman, because
that's why they've been having so many trio matches. Yeah.
Now it's like, where does he go?
Right.
So it's like a lot of unfinished business and how can I say it? Not unfinished business, but it's like no continuation for the guys after these matches.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. I was gonna say, didn't mean to interrupt, but I was just gonna say, what do you mean there's no continuation? Right after that match happened, they started the continuation of the Pac Hangman scenario, and a lot of people didn't see what happened because they didn't watch the British wrestling. They don't watch every independent show or whatnot because 48 hours before, I believe it was Double or Nothing. Yeah, he went to he went to UK and they did that match, but so Pac didn't because he called out from that, and that all led to this.
I get that part, but Pac ain't gonna be there every week.
But he's gonna be there more than you think.
Mitch,
he's gonna be doing a lot more than you think.
Mitch, if I want to believe you, but until I actually see him on my TV every couple of weeks, I'm going to say that he has the Brock Lesnar gimmick.
Okay.
So...
Hey, fair enough.
You don't understand where we're at with that?
Oh, I do? No, totally. I get you.
Because to me, Pac is more focused on helping Dragon Gate because he seems like a loyal dude. And he seems more loyal to Dragon Gate than he is to anything else.
Right, but there's a hard ceiling in Dragon Gate that he's already hit, and he knows that. And he's got to realize that, and he already knows that to progress, he has to leave Dragon Gate and go on and move forward to bigger and better things. And so I think it's just about timing, and I just think it was bad timing at that time because he like you said, the Dragon Gate, he was on a tear in terms of like his character, and I think it was just wrong timing for him to lose at that time. A year from now or a year from then, like in March or something, might be different. But coming back now and getting that win, I think it was just perfect timing, and Pac is definitely okay with getting a win over Kenny Omega, and I think it's just going to propel Pac forward in the feud versus Hangman. And that's going to happen because they've been stoking it up ever since right after the show. They do the interviews with Tony Khan and all them backstage.
Okay. So
they had Pac come in and interrupt him. So it's already started.
I will say this, obviously Jericho is on to bigger and better things. He's already going to be the main event of the next paid preview against Cody. Hangman, I understand where Kaliko's going with it, because, he might get into a rivalry with Pac, but Pac's not losing to Hangman Page, honestly. And then that just...
You don't know that.
It kind of puts him in a bad situation where he's kind of better than these guys, but he's not as good as the main guys. You know what I mean?
Okay, so real quick, so you will be shocked to death if Hangman beats Pac. All right, then like I want to hear you say, all right, I was wrong if that ever happens, because I think they're a lot better than WWE at shaking things up as the wind blows and going with things like this title situation. If it's true, they're just better at that kind of thing, calling audibles and going with it.
What
They just are.
about you, Scooter? What are your thoughts about the match and where Hangman Page is going?
Quite honestly, I got to see a little bit more to decide. I'm late to the Hangman Page Pac party, so I gotta wait a little bit more and see.
What about
Fair
the
enough.
title match with Jericho and Hangman?
I mean, I felt like it could have been more, but like they didn't want it to be more than it was. You know, it was like I think this was almost a bad move to not deliver on this match like this. Because you're charging, $50, and it just doesn't, go. It just doesn't echo well with me.
So you're kind of at the point where they kind of knew the match wasn't going to deliver, and they still charged $50 for the paid preview.
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, maybe I would have even held off on awarding the AEW championship.
Right. For a TV.
You know, just
Yeah, that wouldn't have been bad, but I just feel like he's better than most, but he's not going to get the look like everyone else will.
Pronouns. Jericho or Page? Kalika?
Talking about, oh god, to me, Jericho's going to be the man, but Page is just, like I said, I don't see him going anywhere from here. He's going to be kind of in no man's land.
All right.
Nepotism speaks, though.
Good. And that shall end our coverage of AEW's All Out and conclude this episode of Wrestling Wit. If you like the show, please like, subscribe, comment. Please continue watching us on YouTube and Castbox every Saturday at, in the evening time when I post them. And, again, please like, subscribe, comment. It literally takes a second to push that like button, push that subscribe button, say something good about the show, say something bad about the show. Oh, hey, any one of us will take you to task on that. If you want to find us on Twitter, you can find me at JamesJ993. Where can they find Kaliko?
I am Kaliko, and we got to get ready for some NCAA football tomorrow. Whoop, whoop.
And you gave me the hot tag on Twitter a couple days ago with attacking me in a Jericho dispute.
Yeah, buddy.
I was happy to tag in.
Hey, he's over, but hell, you know how it goes.
Right. And where can they find Scooter Dust?
You can find me at Scooter Dust and helming the Twitter account behind the new breaking news Twitter for UNB at WWE on UNB.
And Mitch Mayhem actually got kicked out of the chat, but you can find him at Mitch Mayhem X. Maybe we could get him back before I end the show. But this has been, for my co-host Kaliko Yachts, my other co-host Mitch Mayhem, my other co-host Scooter Dust. This has been Wrestling with
Goodbye, everyone.
Entertainment.
Boobies.